My crazy mother-in-law whipped my 2-year-old son with a wire cord, but my husband was refusing to call the police. When our son was born, my husband and I both agreed that no one was allowed to reprimand him beyond timeouts but us. This rule especially applies to mother-in-law. My husband has told me stories upon stories of how she abused him and disciplined him through methods of using belts, switches, solid objects, hitting, extension cords, you name it. He even has scars on his body here and there from where she struck him. Though my husband told me that, with her older age, he was sure she wouldn't still be using such methods, he and I both told mother-in-law about our golden rule immediately, and she was perfectly okay with it. We weren't exactly worried about anyone breaking the rule for our son's first 2 years because we had a well-trusted friend who would babysit him. Mother-in-law only really came around when we were also able to be around and was always as sweet as could be, so no problems there. But our babysitter has come down with some health conditions and therefore doesn't have free time on her hands like she used to continue watching our son. My husband and I both had to make a 2-hour drive last night, 4 hours total, and had no one to watch him but didn't want to have him out way past his usual bedtime. So, since things had been fine the past 2 years, we thought maybe mother-in-law had changed her old ways, and we offered to let her come over and watch our son. She happily accepted and was over in no time, all smiley and happy to see us, and was nice to our son too. My husband and I didn't want to take up any more time and began our drive. We have cameras set up in every room, and about 30 minutes into our drive, I thought I'd check up on the living room camera from my phone. What I saw absolutely horrified me. My little 2-year-old son was on his hands and knees, screaming and crying, as I watched this woman strike his back with a wire cord. Like it was a whip. I went backward to see what the camera had previously recorded, to see why she was doing what she was doing, and it showed him. And her playing on the couch, everything perfectly fine, then him suddenly smacking her in the face. He has gotten a habit of doing this lately, it's become part of how he plays. I made my husband turn around immediately and told him I was going to call the police, and he stopped me. He has a lot of love for his mother, but this is our baby being hit like he's not even a human being, for God's sake. I didn't even try to argue. I called mother-in-law and told her that I saw everything and that if she even laid a finger on him within the next 30 minutes I'd have her arrested. She wasn't even there when we got home. She had left our son there by himself about 10 minutes before we'd arrived. I walked through the door and saw him laying on his side like a helpless animal, wailing in pain still. I haven't slept at all. My husband has been talking to his mother on the phone, swearing at her and calling her crazy. I looked at my son's back, it was red, hot, and had welts and bruises all over. I cried like a baby and held him in my arms. He's surprisingly sleeping on the couch now, but he has moments where when he moves he starts to cry again, and I'm still crying as well. I don't know what to do. My husband won't let me contact the police, and I blame myself for all of this. I should have never let that beach even breathe the same air as him. I don't know where to go from here. Update: I am currently taking my son to the ER. I don't think my husband is aware that this means it will be reported to the police as well, and I told him I wouldn't say anything, so he is letting me go. He is worried about him, but he's very torn and I know that, so I'm doing the stressful part for him.